Hello and welcome to episode 16 of our Timberborn Update 7 Iron Teeth Project 1K playthrough here. It's cycle 24, day 14, 8.5 days left before this bad tide is over. In last episode, we managed to get them to finish, quote-unquote, the reservoir for the foreseeable future, probably a very long time. But this isn't going to be the final form. We have a couple of different things we can do to try and contain water a bit more effectively. At least one comment suggested putting stuff on top of the mine, which we can absolutely do to expand capacity a little bit. But for right now, this is fine. What we need to start focusing more on today is getting this entire bottom level as far over here as possible, and that's going to start causing some problems with our mangroves. Remember how I said I'm not going to worry about mangrove fruits because they're not going to be there forever? Well, the time is going to be approaching very, very soon where basically all of that goes away. And I think while it can't happen yet, if the next cycle rolls a drought, this is going to be the perfect time to do it. Because we're going to have to just completely take care of everything here. But real quick, a couple of you eagle-eyed viewers did notice that those were no longer connected. That is now fixed. That it's one of those lingering behavior things of me using the ladder mod for multiple years at this point. It recently changed to where you now have to manually place the paths to get them to connect, and I just have not remembered that. But we have this area here that is not quite finished. Getting stuff reconnected. We might have to do a little bit more, but I think for right now this is probably fine just to have more of this bottom layer ready to go. And we haven't obviously kept planting stuff here, trees, so on and so forth. Let's blow that up. B for boom. Get those ladders out of there. Now we have all of this space that, again, we're not using, and we're going to continue expanding this way. But since we are already here, we already have this ladder for the time being, it's going to make sense for us to put in a forester right here. And I will peel this back so we can see how much it can plant. And it's got a pretty substantial range. Obviously, there's still more we have to get rid of here. But for the time being, we have access to a whole lot more space down here. This one lumberjack flag is probably not going to be able to do everything all by itself. But we can pretty easily just get that hooked up there. I will pop in one more gatherer flag, I suppose. Well, this can reach almost everything down here. In fact, it definitely can if I put it on this side. Let's roll with that. Just keep these connected. I know this is not irrigated here. We're going to be working on fixing that eventually. But for the time being, we can absolutely plant some more oak trees with the space that we have access to, just so we have the ability to get more wood, because we're going to need it at some point. So they're going to keep working on that. Like I said, we have to continue expanding this one all the way down here. And then at some point we're going to have to rip all of this out as well. So there is, a little bit of rhyme and reason to this. We have a ton of food stored, so I'm not really worried about removing all of the food production for a semi-extended period of time to get everything all situated. But before we do that, we're probably going to want to build a little bit more storage, maybe another level of these finished goods somewhere, so we can take care of that. Just let them keep on making stuff, because they have the materials to do a whole lot. We just need to allow them to do so. Like, we have all this corn. At the very least, at the absolute minimum, we can put in a couple more of these things just for corn rations and all the finished things. So I do think that is going to be a worthwhile endeavor. In fact, I will go ahead. I know this is not the permanent place where all of this is going to be going. It's fine. But yeah, we just have to have more space. I'm going to go ahead and make another one for berries. Not because we need them right now, but because we will need them eventually. That is going to be very, very important. So right now with 70 beavers, it really is not an issue at all. But it's going to become one very, very soon. We'll just go ahead and take care of that. That's all connected there. These were already, like I said, already connected. I don't need to put one there. But that's going to give them more room for corn rations, berries, and eggplant rations. Like I said, everything else is just kind of whatever. We need to plant more eggplants, which I know it might seem kind of like, well, what in the heck are you doing up here? Well, we're going to get to all that. We're going to get to all that. But now that we have all of this space for oak trees, none of this needs to be trees ever again, with the exception of the pine trees, which I will keep there. I'm going to unplant all of the oak trees. And we do have a farm here, but we don't have currently, because this one is paused. And this one, actually, well, both of these are going to have to move. I don't have somewhere I can, you know, get all of these things planted, but that is going to end up changing when I come in here. I guess, maybe I don't need to be this anal retentive about it. I don't know. I had ideas and then I kind of forgot. That's how it goes. That's showbiz, baby. But if I pop in a thing there, will that give me range down here? Very little. Very little. So let's actually not do that. That's not a smart idea. You're witnessing me attempt to commit math in real time. Yeah, I guess I'm just not going to worry about it for right now. Plenty of stuff we could be doing, but we can just let it be what it's going to be. Some of these things, like the soybeans, just take way too much space. Just so much space. I'm going to take out a little bit more of this corn once it is harvested. Actually, never mind, we have so much, I don't want to sit here and wait for it. Just come get rid of that, and I will plant that as eggplants. That should help a little bit as we continue working on all of this fun stuff. But I'm going to have that prioritized because they are currently trying to build all of this food storage. So let them take care of that. We'll get that replanted. But yeah, I think, depending on how we end up choosing to do this, I think I can probably get this taken care of all the way up to like right about here and not worry about the industrial stuff quite yet, because that again is going to be a little bit of an ordeal. But if we go ahead and just take a look at where we are now, all of our housing, well, not all of it, because we do have that over there, but most of it is already taken care of on top of this. There's this little bit here where we have the plank storage, and I've got some water storage. We don't have enough stored to actually, you know, have this be a problem, so let's just go ahead and empty these. These have to get removed anyway. Oh, don't put it in that one. Come on. I want you to empty both of these. That extract and that dynamite storage do not need to exist because we have these giant ones. So that's going to be an easy thing to take care of. Just get these out of here. Get that out of there. Get that out of there. Now I've got... Oh, I forgot about these trees here. Let's unplant those. This builder's hut probably can be relocated somewhere else. By probably, I mean definitely will need to. This forester is at the very least going to have to move from this spot so we can continue expanding stuff this way. I think what's going to make the most sense, this might not make a whole lot of sense to you right now, but I think what's going to make the most sense is just to blast this completely all the way down, because it's already in a space where it's going to have to be cavitated, except for all of these different spots here. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up time-lapsing this, because that is just the most humane way to humane way to treat you guys. Just take care of a whole bunch of stuff, get things blasted out, and start the process of lining things up. I can do it a whole lot better when I'm not talking about it. So we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. It's not going to be a super long time-lapse. I don't know how long it's going to take in reality for me to actually do it, but do my best to speed things up. I know last episode a couple of you, I don't know if I'd say the word disappointed, but you let me know that, hey, this video is pretty short. Like, it's 31 minutes, and I recorded for 2 hours and 18. So we did a whole lot of time-lapsing in that episode. We got a lot of stuff done, but, you know, I think people kind of expect a little bit more in the duration, whatever the correct word is for that. My brain just completely combusted. But I digress. We're going to end that time-lapse now and move on to the next. Alright, so after that time-lapse, a little bit of moving around, a little bit of whatever. I'm going to hit pause just real quick for my sanity's purposes. This took a lot longer to figure out than I'm comfortable admitting. It would have gone by real quick for you guys, but I had to think about how this stuff lines up. But I finally figured it out. I also could have just, looked here where it says 2425 and gone right that. But the reason I spent so much time thinking about it is because I had to be sure that I was putting this double pillar in the right spot. Remember, the goal is to have a corner pillar just like right this on every corner of the map. Because right about here, these 4 squares, that is where I'm going to put a forester for all of our actual tree farming purposes, and around it's going to be other stuff. I had to think about that a whole lot more than I thought I needed to. But you can see that our reservoir is completely full. That is so much more storage capacity than we have ever had, and we're going to continue pumping that up, and it's going to take, probably, hopefully, less than a full drought cycle to completely empty it. But I don't think we can pump that quickly without putting a bunch more pumps in. I think with the 8 we have now, well, technically 6 that can actually pump out of this without stuff overflowing. I think we probably can still pump it in a very, very long drought cycle, but we'll see what happens. That didn't make any sense. Look, all right, I'm trying, okay? Long Friday, long week. I got a lot of videos to make the next couple of days, but regardless, what we can do now, because we have a drought, is we can seriously think about whether or not, depending on the length of the drought, I suppose, whether or not it's the correct time to just completely rip all of this out and start from scratch. I'm thinking the answer to that question probably is going to need to be yes. But while we are here, remember, we've had this number cruncher paused for quite some time because I've been trying to use the power to actually do stuff. I think we can have this going. It's going to run things a little bit less efficiently, but we do still need to make some science. And there was a very interesting idea proposed in the comments, which was to go ahead and unlock as much as we can, and then just forget about having a number cruncher at all. Remember, we have these inventors too. But since I'm not trying to use bots, we don't need to unlock those. And all we'd have to do, assuming that we're going to use any of the rest of this stuff, just go ahead and unlock it. I think I definitely want to get monuments sooner rather than later. Obviously, the Earth repopulator is not something we can make right now anyway. Well, it would just take a really long time. But I'm going to go ahead and unlock the Laborer Monument and the Flame of Unity because, well, they are relatively cheap to build. And we're going to need to... I'm not going to build this in the middle of the map, but to get our well-being up, we're going to need to build these. But I do need to make sure they are unlocked, at the very least. We can't unlock the Tribute to Ingenuity yet. We still have plenty of decorative stuff to unlock. I'm just going to go ahead and get all of that right now because we're going to need that. Fences, no. Lanterns, I'll go ahead and unlock them, but I'm going to use these guys that we already have unlocked. Benches, why not? Let's get everything. These and well, these are already researched, but the rest of these lanterns, they're so cheap. They're like 30 science apiece. There's probably a shortcut to do this without clicking 3 times, but I do not know what it is. I love these paper lanterns. These look great, but I'm not worried about putting those in right now. Bells, I don't think that gives us an actual benefit, and it would just be annoying sounds. But well-being stuff, decontamination pods, I really hope we never have to use it. Swimming pools are something that we could actually build up here, depending on how long we have this this reservoir at its full height. But I know for a fact, exercise plaza, wind tunnel, all of this stuff really should be unlocked before we need it, not after. And all of this construction stuff that we've been messing with, I don't think I'm going to use the 3x3 or the 5x5 metal platforms yet, but we do have these. I'm going to get the 2x1. The bridges, there's probably not a scenario right now where we're going to need more than a 3x1 suspension bridge, but two boys, friends, will be coming sooner than you think. Not today, but just as soon as we have this entire first layer set up, we will need to get everything situated. We can have our two-boy network going right up the middle of this. Remember our utility chase discussion a couple episodes ago? That's going to be there, and that's why I'm having this, continue running right now, because we will want to have that before we know it. But I'm not going to use it right now, so I didn't unlock that in that order, so on and so forth. You get the gist. So we're going to find out here in one more day just how long this drought's going to be. If it's long, let's say if it's in like the 20+ day range, I'm going to say it's probably fine just to go ahead and rip this out. But we absolutely need to get as much of this water pumped as possible so our beavers can survive. I may have made a mistake in not starting these pumps back soon enough, but I think, you know, grand scheme of things, it's probably okay. Probably going to be fine. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that builder's hut. Like I said, we had to move all this stuff anyway. These can go away. This medical bed, we do have just one incapacitated is probably fine. See, this is the kind of stuff like right here that needs to move so I can get rid of, well, not get rid of, but fix the land, so to speak. And it would be really, really great to get everything up to the middle of the map, which conveniently is right next to the sluice here. Very, very conveniently right next to the sluice. I think that is going to be the smart thing to do. But we do need to find out just how long this drought's going to be before we decide what else we're going to accomplish today. And that should be right about now. 29 days, maximum length. All right, boys and girls, the time has come. We are absolutely ripping all of this out. But before we do, we have to make sure that we have everything we need from the resources we're about to remove. Berries take 24 days to get any more berries. We have 1,200 in storage. With 68 beavers, I don't think that's going to be an issue. But before those get ripped out, I want to plant some way down here. Now, I know we don't have access to, you know, really get in here, but I think it's going to be worth trying to figure out how that's going to happen, because remember when we put in our forester right here in the middle, it's not going to reach through the whole bottom anyway. And I think, based on the fact that we're not going to be doing bots, I'm trying my best not to get into bots, I don't think we're going to need more than one layer of wood production. If almost the entire thing is actually taken up on the bottom level with wood production, which I'm pretty sure it can be if I do this correctly. That's going to leave, like we said, I think we talked about this a little bit, like maybe like a 5 wide around the entire perimeter that isn't going to be wood, but it could be coffee bushes or blueberries or any other manner of things, or we just plant trees there and I deal with having weird holes in the canopy for whatever reason. Obviously right now I can't really get away with doing it too much with that, but just trying to keep the ideas alive. We're going to have to keep doing this, but that's something we will be working on. I just want to put that out in front of everybody. I really, really, really wanted to be able to move the rest of this stuff out of the way, and I think it's going to end up being a little bit of a pain in the butt. But hey, we have 8 free beds, so that means this barracks can go away, along with all of its decorations. I'm going to migrate those beavers somewhere else. These planks have nowhere to go. They will be used. They will actually be used very, very soon. So instead of getting rid of that, let's set this to empty. And let's come over here. There's other fun stuff we have to discuss as well. Like what to do with all of our water source stuff, because that's going to be fun when we get to bad tides later on when everything is irrigated down here. We're going to have some challenges to overcome, and I'm going to have to do some stuff in the testing world to take care of that. But for now, what we have to do is get the rest of this blasted out. Don't worry, I'm not quite dumb enough to do into the reservoir just yet. But everything else is fair game here. So that is just going to, you know, dance its way around as much as it has to dance around. This goes all the way through here. This goes all the way to there. And then, again, we only have access to so much because of what I've already filled in. We're going to have to do something with this. But just so we are all on the same page, I cannot go underneath these. I can go underneath everything else, but I cannot touch these guys. That's just how that works. So if I go ahead and I take this out, At this level, it's not going to matter right now. But what is going to happen is as soon as we have a bad tide, this will be polluted anywhere that the land is touching. So, remember, we can always put this stuff back. But tentatively, I do want to go ahead and take all the way around. We can't go under it, but all the way around out to see what else we might be able to do with that. But enough babbling. We'll just go ahead and get the rest of this popped in place here. Remember, we have our pillar here that's going to work out quite nicely. Obviously can't go there, and then the rest of this is what it is. I'm not going to bother with the backside of this. But they do have to be able to get into this, which is, of course, something that we do have to... oh, somebody made stupid choices here. I guess it's just going to go ahead and get rid of the bush that's underneath it as soon as that gets built. I probably didn't need to do this way. I just wasn't paying attention. But if that does get rid of the berry bush, I guess let's just watch this and see. Yep, it sure does. Okay, well, I didn't need to have them actually demolish anything. That is good to know. So, this can now be completely replaced just as soon as that gets... there we go. Exploded. I guess that didn't need to be a thing. Well, underneath is good because they do have to be able to get into it. See, I really should have done a better job of planning this out, but those of you who've watched these videos long enough definitely understand. Absolutely understand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and just make it a temporary get down in there access point. Just like that. I know it's not like the most efficient thing ever, but they're going to continue working on this in due time. We can definitely go and spend our resources, our time, our energy, our efforts on other stuff while they continue working on the rest of this. The main thing today, I think, for the rest of the episode is going to be trying to deal with all of this. Now, mangrove fruits as a food source I am deeply unconcerned about because, remember, our goal is 1,000 beavers at as high of a well-being as we can manage. The mangrove fruits are only a very, very, very tiny part of that. And there is a possibility we could be able to have some of those on some level, wherever the irrigation is on the top of our farming bit. I don't know. We're going to see. I might have to play with it in the mythical testing world. But what we need to focus on now is actually getting rid of all of this stuff. I held back on getting rid of this forest because I needed stuff to be able to be planted down below, and obviously everything's going to get fixed when it gets fixed. But just popping that guy in there, I know will decrease the plantable range down there. Again, we're not going to be worried about it. It is what it is. But before things get too crazy, I will, like I said, just for the sake of what we're attempting to do here, unplant these. When they are harvested, they will be replaced with berry bushes. It just makes the most sense to put it right around here. We'll check on that a bit later. But all of the rest of this needs to go away and get relocated somewhere else. I said the planks were going to be used, and they are. We do have that one homeless beaver, so let's probably... I don't really have a great place to stick this guy. Well, I'll tell you what. This is going to be the simplest way to do it, even if it's not the best way to do it. The simplest way to do it is just going to be to stack a couple more row houses here. And I know that this is the 4-high one, but I placed a scratcher down here. You know what? You know, let's just get rid of the scratcher. It's not worth worrying about. Stop overcomplicating things. Look, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Sometimes things are just hard. That's the way the cookie crumbles. We got to get these guys out of here because this is completely dried out. Get these guys continuing to pump. We have storage of 6,300. We're going to need to figure out what our storage structure is going to be looking like at some point. But today is probably not that day. Let's see if we... Okay, I guess I could just speed this up. This is going to take a while. We already established that. It is what it is. So other stuff we have to do, we have to unplant all of these kohlrabis here. We have to unplant basically everything on this side. Again, trying to get up into the... How did you get silly billied there? How, pray tell? Okay, well I guess they fixed that problem. This farmhouse can already be removed. This little storage of logs, is this completely full? Basically is, okay. You know what? I'm not going to wait for that. We got better stuff to do. We absolutely have better stuff to do. What we need to do is we need to figure out our column placement. Remember, we have our space of 7. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This column here, 29, 15, is going to be... Oh, it's already taken care of. Okay. Well, that gives us a little bit more to work with here, because we already know that we have a space of 5. So that's going to be a column. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be... I did an oopsie here. It's actually 6. It's actually 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is correct. I think I planned that, and then I just completely ignored myself. Good job, me. Anyway, the reason I'm doing that is so I can blast the rest of this out. Because, as we know, this has completely defeated my brain. This is the double bit here. And all of these are going to have to be removed. This actually... You know what? This... this medium tank is exactly... No, it's not. I was about to be really proud of myself. It is one tile off of being exactly in the middle of the map. This breeding pod, and this half of the tank are in the middle. This 24-24, technically, I guess, where my pointer is the middle of the map. Boy, oh boy. Oh, I'm trying so hard. My brain is trying so hard, I promise. Oh, but this got to get blasted down. That's got to get blasted down. That's only 58%. I'm not waiting another 15 days. Goodbye. Just get that out of there. Is this empty yet? It sure is. Wait, there's something on top of this. What's on top of this that's stopping this from getting pulled out? Oh, the lantern. Now it's gone. Okay. And then, of course, all of this under here can be removed, blasted down, etc. once this is all connected here. But I'm going to go ahead and just get that blasted out, this whole section here, again, in chunks, different pieces, will get removed. These breeding pods need to be, well, technically no, because, oh no, they're on top of this. They have to be relocated. Blast. It is what it is. Any trees removed here? I guess technically yes, but every little bit counts. When you have blueberry bushes that need to be planted, so we'll let them do what they got to do. They can't actually plant these, so I'm hesitant to start another time lapse because I know I'm going to have to keep moving things around. So let's, instead of that, come over here. Take care of this, beaver boom, etc. And let's put in 2 more of these large row houses, easily stacked on top of each other, and they can use all of the same stuff here. So that is going to end up being... Alright, like so. That's really going to help. And then we can... we don't need to take these out, but it gives us options. Gives us things to do. Get that removed there. They can actually... Oh, they actually can't plant that much else, but they'll pull it out. Gotta have something else with wood. So I guess the labor monument takes 200 of these. So why don't we just stick it right on top just as soon as that gets built? That'll be a good use of 200 logs at least to clear up some more space as I'm actively trying to delete piles so I can do literally everything else. Okay, the dirt situation. I know I did get rid of our dirt excavator, so this is gonna get interesting real quick. Real quick. I guess I should have Should have addressed that. We do still need to have a dirt excavator. And it doesn't matter where it goes, technically, because it's just going to make infinite dirt anyway. But I tried so hard to get the dirt excavator to pull double duty, and then at least one of you commented about that maybe not being the most efficient use of time or resources or whatever. But I did like the setup we had going, where it was just kind of off by itself. I just need it to be in a better location that isn't going to cause grief. So I guess this is why this map is hard, because you have to find a place to put something. It can't be underwater. But I think probably the best thing to do is going to be to stick it in a place like here-ish. But I don't have excuse me, I don't have a good way to get it in here. That's obviously not going to work because it has to be wait, is that too high? Is that why it's not letting me do that? Okay, let's try this. No, of course not, because I have this here. What gives? What gives with that? Does it have to be like, is it just not going to let me put it here on top of levees? I guess it has to be on top of actual dirt. Oh, that's a drag, because I don't have a whole lot of dirt left. So, new idea. New idea. Let's put that there. No, that doesn't work either. What? Come on. Oh, no, you know what it is? Yeah. Yeah, I'll own that. That's on me. Oh boy. Oh boy. So that's going to get my beavers in there. I just have to have a ladder, which I guess I could have just used this as a ladder. I promise my brain functions enough to at least keep me alive. There, that will work. We just have to have an engine to power it, which thankfully is a lot easier than try to do this other nonsense. Alright, so look, it's gonna look really weird. I'm gonna need you to trust me, okay? Just bear with me here. If I do the 5x1 like this, then all I have to do is put in 3x1s here, and then a 2x1 here. This is gratuitous wasting of materials, yes, I know. But you gotta do what you gotta do to make this work. So that's connected there. That's connected there. Is it perfect? No. Is it even acceptable? Maybe not. But that's what we have. So let's make this happen here. Get all that built up. They'll take their sweet time, I'm sure, because I got rid of one of those builder's huts. But I do need to plant some more of these berry bushes. And then oh, they haven't even harvested these yet. Well, that's going to use wood. It's fine. I'm going to have to time-lapse this with a whole bunch of stuff moving, and I know that's going to upset some of you folks. But I'll give you warning, and you can skip ahead if you want when we get to that point. But need to make sure that this gets emptied. I need to get all of this stuff removed. I was maybe planning on getting these breeding pods relocated too, but those don't have too much else they can be working. Like, look at this. Look at this. We're 7 days through the drought. We've been pumping 6 pumps consistently, and it's only that much that's disappeared. This is so good that we have this larger reservoir now, and it's only going to get better. Just gotta trust the process, our favorite phrase. Yeah, so once this one pops this guy out, we're going to be finished with that. Oh, I gotta move these too. That's such a pain. See, this is like the one thing I really don't like about the Iron Teeth, is having to manually space out the breeding pods, because that is just, ugh, not my idea of a good time. So I'm gonna pop 3 of these guys up here. I guess turbo speed that guy getting built, because this one just popped, so it's going away. I really hope this one gets built first. I guess it doesn't really matter if they're always adults. Yeah, it really doesn't matter if they're always adults, because then there's no labor gap to keep up with. Why was I so worried about this? It really doesn't even make any sense at all. Okay, well, they're not going to put any of these in anyway until we have all that junk taken care of. That's done. That's only halfway, so that's going to take another day or two. That's fine. Are we at least making progress with this, or am I just looking like a fool? Okay. I'm going to choose not to answer that question on grounds that may incriminate me. Come on, man. Cut these trees down. I got stuff I have to build. They're probably just taking all of these out because they can. All right, don't make me do this. Don't make me time lapse when I'm not ready to time lapse yet. I need the berries to be sustainable before I do anything else with this. Well, I mean, at least we have 2,400 corn rations. Eggplant rations are definitely lagging behind, but food is fine. Water is fine. I think we are genuinely in an acceptable place at this point in time. We're just going to have to maybe do a little bit better at being efficient with what we're doing here. They're absolutely not going to be doing this. Man, I don't want to reprioritize everything. It's so bothersome. Do I even have all the stuff to do this? Oh, I super do. Okay. That's fine. All right. So this is the part where those of you who really do not like the time lapses that move around all over the place, just skip ahead to the time code that's going to be on the screen right now. I'm sorry, I have to do it. There's no chance I can survive this series doing time lapses that never move the camera. Like it just has to be done. So unless you guys want me to cut stuff out, which I really don't want to do, I extremely don't want to do. You just gotta trust the process. Just let it happen. I try to show you guys everything because it's very important to me that we have the authentic experience, suffering included, of playing, well, this game and all the other games, although for the past, like, I don't know, most of a year, it's been basically just the beavers while we waited for other stuff. But you get the idea. It is what it is. I do my best. Sometimes my best isn't very good, but I always do my best. So we're going to come out of the time-lapse on this guy, and hopefully I'm able to get everything taken care of that I wanted to get taken care of, which I know is a big stretch, but we will see. Alright, so we're in a little bit of a pickle here, as you can see, and as at least a couple of you mentioned in the comments, there is going to be a problem with bad water pollution here once we start messing with our little source area. And the reason that is because all of this land is still connected up here, and it will be for quite some time. This is all polluted. Putting whatever these things are called, irrigation barriers here, will not stop it because the land still goes down completely connected beneath it. So the only real way that we're going to have to get rid of all of this pollution is going to be to completely decouple these sources from everything else. Like, completely decouple this entire thing here. So we're just not going to worry about it right now. Not an issue. It's totally fine. I'm not going to blow this up yet, because as of now it's only killed these 3 trees. If I blew it up, it would kill a little bit more, I believe, because of the whole height thing. Could be wrong, I don't know. Yell at me in the comments if I'm wrong. But we've managed to mostly get what I wanted to get done. I am going to continue doing a little bit more here, but I just... this gets really overwhelming really quick, as you might guess. But I am sincerely trying my best here. I gotta fix some of this stuff, man. And it's really hard. I actually do try really hard not to have annoying time lapses where everything is just spinning around, but it's almost impossible at this point for it to be anything but that. Oh, hey, there's a piece of land we don't have to have connected there. But yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. This is our pillar here. This is empty. All this stuff is gone, so that can get disconnected. There's so much going on. This is going to be a pillar. This is going to go away. Deeply unconcerned. So that's fine there. I'm setting the pillars up because that is going to be the easiest way to get all this taken care of. if you're playing along at home, you may have actually just discovered that I made a boo-boo here. These two, this is so hard, man. I'm trying my best, I promise. But this 24-25 is actually where that, yeah, see this needs to be a pillar, which means this does not need to be a pillar. That needs to be a pillar. It's a lot easier when you're not trying to simultaneously demolish and get more stuff back. Yes, we have 17 injured beavers. Yes, those of you who have already left angry comments, this is my fault because I did not have any medical beds. Man, everything is in such a weird state of flux that it's almost impossible to do stuff that makes sense. And I know it's going to irritate the living snot out of you guys, but we just have to do what we have to do. You know, it's nothing personal. I'm not deliberately trying to make this terrible. It just happens this way. Keep in mind, we have completely full water and not entirely full, but full enough food storage. The survival of the beavers is not the issue at hand here. So that's going to be 6. That's going to be another 5. That's 11. Then we have a 17 are injured. It's probably fine. We got 77 beavers now, which is good. Very, very nice. But like I said, there's just this bit specifically where the land is exactly high enough to be in the way while not being high enough to be helpful in getting everything else connected so it can stop being in the way. It's a whole thing. So this mess underneath, it is what it is. It's going to be annoying to deal with, I know. But we will get everything taken care of. Eventually, maybe. You know what? I'm just this is where the frustration sets in. I'm going to get rid of all of these trees here so I can put these stinking berries in. Cuz I should have this whole time should have been having that all taken care of, but you know they're not going to do anything about that. I need I got to be able to get this stuff done, man. So triple dynamites here, everywhere, so on and so forth. Is what it is. So we're going to have pillars here and here. So those will go away. Just going to blow this up just because I can. That is the lowest level of the map. Let's just check this for the sake of my sanity. What little remains. Okay, so that was actually correct. Good. Good. Then another one. See, that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this right here, 26, 37, is going to have to be a column. That is... Oh. Well, how did I do that? This oh god, this is so hard. This is the reason why quote-unquote real YouTubers do this stuff off camera, so you can't see all this insane nonsense that they have to deal with. But I made a promise very early on that I was not going to be like that. Some of you do not agree. That is fine. I feel like I should just cut all this stuff out, but I'm having a whole lot more fun doing it this way. So, just get some more of these blueberries planted here. And then I will immediately, without mercy, get rid of everything else. So that will reach... Oh. Well, that's a problem. How the heck am I supposed to do this? Alright, so that is 3205. Alright. Well, I guess I made a mistake. Just have to get this blasted out. There is a point of diminishing returns when it comes to trying to record an episode here, and I think I've long since passed it, but I am duty-bound to deliver to you 6 days a week Timberborn content that is hopefully not completely horrible, so that is what I will do my best to try and accomplish today. Got to get that put in place. No wonder they weren't getting anything done there. What a load of you-know-what. Okay. Well, at the very least, we've mostly got it. We've mostly got it taken care of. It's just, man, it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. So that, pillar-wise, will go there. That's totally fine. This, right here. Okay, 2934. That's what I needed to... oh, it's already a pillar. Who'da thunk it? All right, so that means everything else over here, to my understanding, is primed and ready to be exploded. Which I suppose, seeing how this has gone, I can really only explode this much. And I do still have to reconnect all of these paths here. The eternal problem, as it is. I'm just trying, man. I'm trying my best. We do have 15-ish, 16-ish days left. We have all of this water up here still, which is great. All of our storage is full. Yes, it will be moving. No, I'm not doing that right now. Just trying so hard to do what I said I was going to do. Alright, so, at risk of potentially causing another riot, I'm going to absolutely have to go ahead and start time-lapsing this again while we do the rest of our end-of-episode stuff. I know, but I promised you I'm not going to make this 100 episodes. So we gotta just do this, because I end up cutting out 75% of the episodes now, I guess. We're not cutting out, fast-forwarding through. This one, I don't know, hopefully is not as short as whatever day that came out. Thursday's was. But I'm doing my best. You already know, I appreciate you watching these videos, Beard Boosters, especially subsidizing the insanity, making sure that we can continue doing this without sponsors. Not that people would probably want to sponsor this nuts insanity right now, but I digress. You are the sponsors. You make it possible to keep playing every single day. Something comes up here, and I really do appreciate the support. It means a lot. It means more than a lot, actually. But regardless, I'm out of ways to say it. You already know. I don't need to keep rehashing, beating a dead horse, etc., so on and so forth. It just truly is not possible without your support, so I really do appreciate it. That being said, let's come out of the time-lapse now and talk about what I hopefully managed to accomplish. Fixing stuff. I know there's still little bits and pieces that are all sorts of messed up, but we will get there when we get there, and it will be worth it in the end. Alright, so, where are we now? Somehow, this does not have any land in it, and I wouldn't let me place it earlier. So there's got to be some sort of weird dependency with this thing not being filled in. But we peel this all the way back. Yes, this is an absolute disaster zone right here, but this area is opened up. There's still more to fix. Don't worry, it's going to be fixed. I just absolutely needed I needed to have this done before we were finished with this episode. But yeah, my brain is fried. I clearly have no clue how to actually do this correctly, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop here. I'm sure there's probably a number of you who are quite upset watching all that. But I think the forester here is in the correct location to be on top of that pylon, and it is. So what is going to have to happen is, of course, this land, this 2x2, and maybe a little bit around it is going to be removed. I left it in for the sake of, trying to figure out how the supports work. But I think if this is going to actually be the true middle, what's going to need to happen is we'll put in like a little ring of supports or something here. It might not end up being terrain. It might just be those platforms, just so we can actually walk through them. But I'm going to try to put the forester here. We'll see how much it actually reaches. But I'm out. I'm spent. There's no more brain power left today. It does not exist. So I'm gonna have to pick this back up on Tuesday. But like I said in the time lapse, I really do appreciate you watching these videos. I know there's probably some of you who are much better at this game than I am, and I know it's very frustrating, and I'm sorry. That's how it goes. I show you everything. It is the good, the bad, and the ugly, and sometimes it's a whole lot of the ugly, but it is the authentic experience of me playing the game, and I'm not sitting there paying someone to do it off camera or reloading when bad stuff happens. It's just, it is what it is. That's how I like to play. That's how I think hopefully most of you will prefer to watch it anyway. So that's it. Whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, have a safe and a fun time. We'll see you back tomorrow for Roller Coaster Tycoon, and then we'll start back with this series on Tuesday, like I said. But yeah, that's it. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.